Hi everyone and welcome to week 5 of this series of our Irish country music Instagram lives. So this week we're going to be joined by Gavin Gribben. So we're going to get him on the call now. Patrick Fleadh, and last week we were chatting to Chantal Padden down under. So let's see if we can get Gavin on the call. There he is there. Hey Gavin, how are you getting on?
How you doing, Mikey?
All good, all good. So let's kick right to it and tell us, you were our one to watch firstly in this month's issue of RSVP Country, which is on shelves now. So tell us where you began in country music and how you got started in the industry.
Oh, thanks very much for having me on here today, Mikey, and indeed even in having in the RSVP Country magazine, as you said, one to watch, but hopefully what I call. So really where I began in the industry as such, but was back years ago. We all kind of came from somewhere, I suppose, and my journey started when we were on a family holiday in England, actually, one of the haven sites. We were over there on a family holiday, and I was asked would I do a talent competition. So after doing that, we ended up doing the audition that morning, and I got through the audition, and I ended up going through to the finals that evening, which I won. So for me, that was I suppose a moment where it was something completely different for me at that age. This was when I was really only a couple of years old. So at that age, it was obviously something massive, playing to the whole caravan park really, and everybody who was there in the holidays. Everyone was out to have a good time, and yeah, it was something that was, I suppose, different. For me, it was something that was a competition I only had done, like singing around the house, and as you call it, singing in the shower, everywhere, singing everywhere, things like this here, and anything maybe that I was doing in school at the time. So it was something that was very unique, I suppose, for me. But yeah, I enjoyed it. And as time moved on, as time progressed, I done different competitions, local feshes and things like that there. And then as time went on a bit further, I used to compete in Scór competitions. So the Scór competition and the Fleadh competition as well. And I ended up winning the All Ireland Scór,
You
for
must
the
have you must have a lot of confidence then if you're competing at such a young age.
Well, I used to do Irish dancing, you see, and I found that they both actually worked very well with each other. So I found that by doing the Irish dancing, I was getting used to being on stage, but also by doing that, sometimes you were dancing obviously on your own, but sometimes you're also dancing with other people, and there was that kind of confidence, I suppose, you built in dancing with other people and things like that. And kind of the competition, I suppose, itself then they became more, I suppose, natural over time, and you get more used to them, more comfortable with them. But there's obviously, like everybody and every kind of, I suppose, age too, there's obviously things that you look at, and you look at and you see, you know what I mean? You think, this one's going to be an edgy one today now. So there's that.
And
Well,
and on that holiday, what was the song you sang that won you the competition?
believe it or not, the song I sang in that competition was Somewhere Over the Rainbow. So
Very good,
back a
yeah.
long time now, but yes, I really enjoyed it. It was a song that I suppose again it was popular at the time, and I liked humming away at it, so I ended up singing it. And plus, that kind of those type of songs were a favorite of my mum's as well. She used to always love listening to them songs as well. But yeah, the house had always had music playing, whether it be country music, folk music, and all your kind of big names. It was always on the radio in the house as well. So that kind of kick-started the concept of music in the house as well.
Absolutely. And obviously you're enjoying quite great success in the early days of your career, but with the highs do come the lows. What have you found to be the hardest part of the industry to date?
Well, I suppose the hardest thing about the music industry as such is the traveling. Obviously, to be kind of present in the kind of the whole frame of music, you need to be out there, I suppose, and to do that, you need to be doing, I suppose, a bit of traveling as well, and which it makes it difficult because not everything is local,
Yeah.
and not every go is sometimes maybe a couple of hours away. So it means there's a lot of traveling involved and a lot of sitting in the van, and whenever you go maybe to set up and things like that, there's obviously a lot of time required for that as well, and it means you're away from home and away from family and things like that as well. But with that, there's the highs and the lows, as they say as well. So you get that kind of buzz then from the stage, and the adrenaline kind of keeps you going, maybe on the journey home and things like that, and it drives you on towards the next gig as well.
And what's the furthest away gig you've had to play?
The furthest away at the moment has been actually the furthest gig I've been away at the moment has been in England, Scotland. So I've done different gigs in Blackpool and things like that, and I've also done different parts of Scotland as well. So at the moment, that's been the furthest gig. But looking towards the future, I'm actually doing a couple of gigs in Spain.
Wow.
So there'll be a new highlight for me now. I'm doing Declan Ernie's Hooli in the Sun in September time, and it's just been released there as well. It's just been announced there previously there a couple of weeks that Derek Ryan's beat in the heat. I'll be on it now for the second week. So yeah, I'm looking forward. They'll both be in Spain now. Declan Ernie's is in September this year, and Derek's is in May next year as well. So I'm looking forward to both of them.
Do you ever get homesick?
Oh, you do. There's certain times. So obviously, it's not a 9 to 5 job, and with that, it's a type of job where it's not necessarily going to be 9 to 5 Monday to Friday, more so than anything. So there's times when, for example, there's things you can't attend, and there's obviously family events and things like that you are going to have to miss whilst being on the road. But there, on the kind of flip side of that, then you can kind of look forward to the next future gigs and the new kind of things that you can look forward to getting home. And I suppose Ireland is that small, realistically, that if you really wanted to, you could probably travel home every single night. It'd be a challenge, but you could probably do it at a push, you know what I mean? So on that kind of thing, you're never feeling as if you're too far away from home. That like either a flight or a couple of hours in the car wouldn't be too far. I wouldn't see you too stuck now.
And have any of the more experienced male performers in the industry reached out to give you any advice, or whenever you're on the same billing, do you ask them any burning questions that you have?
Oh, definitely, yeah. No, actually, I remember back a couple of years ago, one of the first big festivals that I'd done was actually the Fleadh Festival, and I remember everything was complete novelty to me, and I had never seen really the likes of it. I was probably too young to be in any festivals beforehand, so it was the first time I was really seeing anything of that kind. And I remember it was Derek Ryan on the bill that night, and in fairness to him, Derek gave me fantastic advice in terms of where to kind of turn it over the next couple of years and how to actually progress in the industry, from the age I was to even where I am now exactly. So things like that, and then obviously the likes of Nathan and that as well. I've been doing different festivals with them over the last year and that too. And again, you'll be talking to these boys, and they all have their own experiences to share, and with that comes the advice as well then too.
And then, with the success does come a lot of attention online. Would you get a lot of people sliding into your DMs looking for dates or anything?
Maggie, that's the question I don't want to answer. No, in fairness, you get the odd wee message, but it's good to see. And in fairness, I'm actually quite lucky. I have a lot of a young audience now following me, and you'd find that in gigs as well. Like, don't get me wrong, with country music, there's always a very balanced and a very mixed age group kind of comes to it. You could have everything from 9 to 90, and trust me, I've done birthday parties near enough from 9 to 90, so in the past. So that kind of thing where the age is very variable, but with that now, I am fortunate that I have been bringing a good kind of young audience to the gigs as well. And the kind of the adrenaline, I suppose, that brings too, and people love to see the energy, I suppose, that the young people bring as well. So I suppose it has a really positive effect on the overall night and the overall event.
And there is a real youthful vibe in the industry at the moment, and even crossing over into the trad and folk side. When you look at the Tumbling Paddies, you look at Kjol, enjoying massive success. Is it kind of a case of a rising tide raises all ships? That it's bringing a more youthful audience and everybody's getting a taste of it.
Well, I suppose, to be honest, like my roots, and I suppose maybe like a few of the artists as well, my roots have always been country and folk music. So in that respect, I've always been doing country, and my own kind of the first album that I released was more even a folk album as well, and that kind of that cross border, I suppose, of genres has always been popular as well. So I suppose when you're saying you find the overall mix, it's because the songs are generally quite similar, and the style of music is quite similar as well. So like the fiddle crosses over in both genres, accordion crosses over in both genres, and things like that. And I suppose in that respect, then you can find that it does bring a positive effect. And for example, the festivals that I'd be playing too, a lot of them would be like with the Tumbling Paddies, or with, for example, Nathan or Derek or Mike Denver, or some of them people as well. And it's that kind of crossing between the country and folk that you would find as well there on the bills as well.
And then what's on the bucket list? What are the plans for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years?
Well, in the media plans, I suppose, over the next little while, I have a big gig of my own coming up, and I'm really looking forward to it. Actually, last year I played in my local club, and it turned out to be an absolutely fantastic event for me. So, due to both the phenomenal success of that gig, I'm returning now this year. But I suppose to make it a bit more even adventurous too, I'm actually returning with a band this year. So, this is kind of the first real delve for me now in that respect, and I'm looking forward to it. It'll be on the 23rd of September. Tickets are available on Eventbrite, and you can also call. There's a number on the poster as well. You can call even to sort that out. But for me, that'll be, I suppose, a big kind of it'll be a big thing for me in my career as well. First real proper gig, I suppose, with a band. So I'll be looking forward to that. And then, as well as you're saying, the kind of upcoming plans over the next couple of years. I am doing a couple more gigs with band and that as well. But even there's lots of festivals happening, and I would like to, I suppose, at some stage release a couple of my own original songs too.
And do you mentioned the big gig there? Like, what are the nerves like ahead of that? Is that something you think about, or you've got such good experience under your belt? Do you get nervous at all?
Oh, definitely, yes. There's nerves, I suppose, in everything, and just like every career as well. And each new challenge, it brings its own challenges within that, and there's always a sort of anticipation for the gig, but that brings a bit of nerves too. Don't get me wrong, it's always a kind of excitement and this kind of adrenaline building as well. But it should be one. Hopefully, I'll remember now. But yeah, the nerves are probably present, but hopefully it'll be more excitement than anything.
Absolutely. And finally, then, what are your hobbies then away from country music? What do you get up to in your spare time?
Spare time is limited.
Yeah.
To be fair, I'm doing a music degree as well, so the music degree obviously takes up an awful lot of time during the week and things like that. And then when you add I suppose the music into that as well for the weekends, and even there's also a few midweek gigs as well, it makes your diary very full, I suppose. But I enjoy going to the gym. I suppose that seems to be the craze at the moment, but the gym I suppose keeps your head right, and it allows you to kind of to I suppose go to a completely different field. It's not anything related to music, and even probably the music you'll be listening to in the gym will be something completely different. So it is a sort of headspace, and it's something completely different where you can take your head off the ball and just kind of focus on lifting weights or whatever it may be there too.
Yeah. Well, that is all perfect. Gavin, thank you so much for your time. And I must give a shout out then to our RSVP Country, which is on shelves at the moment. Our new issue is in progress and will be out by the end of the month as well. And of course, you are featured in it. And if anybody wants to keep up with country music news on a day-to-day basis, you can head up to rsvplive.ie/country music, where you get the latest interviews, releases, tour dates, anything you need to know, and also give you the opportunity to sign up to our country newsletter, which will land in your inbox every Monday. So on that note, Gavin, thank you so much for your time, and your best of luck with your first show.
Thank you very much, Mike, and even I hope to see everybody along the next weekend there at the Kilmany. I'll also be in my Maltese Theme Threshing Festival. To be delighted to be returned it this year. So hope to see you there. I hope to see you in Mailbridge. Mikey, thank you so much for having me on.
See you later.
All the best. Thank you.